All right, let's get this show on the road.
Just getting the steam out of my hot water bottle. Sorry, anyway, you can go ahead.
Yeah, basically just what this is for the digital magazine Louder Than War, which basically just covers like all news from like funk, pop, punk, rock, all of that kind of stuff. So we will start. The first question is, what music or musicians inspired each of you to start doing music?
All right, so there's two levels to this. There is real life musicians that I've met and musicians that I've listened to. Firstly, it's John Mayer. I'm sure Elliot and Jay agree with me already.
Yeah.
John Mayer with his guitar playing, which is very lyrical, and his songwriting, they're just inspiring. And, you know, it gives a little kid the dream to want to become like him one day. Real life musician, it would be my gospel choir teacher because of the passion that he had in what he did. And that's what I want for myself, that kind of love for music.
Mine wouldn't be John Mayer because I'd never listened to John Mayer until I met Jerome.
You're not the only one.
You look like the same person now with those caps you've got going on as well.
That's bromance to the next level.
What got me into music, I was definitely more of a little indie boy before we started this band up and before coming to uni. So probably bands like the Kooks, the Wombats, generic indie bands really, that got me wanting to gig anyway. That was like the main sort of thing. As I started to like do more music, people like Stevie Wonder and more like iconic musicians, John Mayer a bit later on, like that's what kind of kept fueling me to want to improve anyway.
It was getting inspired by like the live music scene for you.
Yeah, mine was definitely gigging. I joined a band before I'd ever studied music, so I just had drum lessons, and then I really wanted to just gig. So it was basically just joining a band. We were all like 15 years old, 16 years old, and just playing indie music in really small pubs and clubs around Chelmsford, to be honest. It was kind of from that, then I started to realise about recording and everything, and then I started to study it. So yeah, definitely gigging was, live music was a bigger inspiration for me than anything else.
For me also, it wasn't John Mayer for me at first. I started playing music when my mum said, do you want piano lessons? And I just said, yeah, let's do it. My mum pushed me to do it, and then I kept doing it because I just loved doing it. And it was like one of those things where I was like, I'm good at this, and everything else I'm not as good at. You know, I'm sure most of us will relate, you know, yeah. So then you kind of keep going and you kind of just go through different phases of what you listen to. But John Mayer did make an impact where I was all about hard rock and metal and, you know, heavily distorted stuff. And then I stumbled across his documentary on YouTube and everything changed for me. Everything I wanted from my guitar and from music changed because of that. So that's why I mention him every time.
It's literally so annoying.
I know, it must be. I find it annoying. Oh my God, I can't say one sentence without this guy being in there. And I'm not even obsessed. It's just, his music has impacted me in such a way that I can't leave it.
It's real. Okay, so originally, when I first started like playing music, I feel like Queens of the Stone Age and like Nirvana, like more like kind of grunge stoner rock was more my thing. Like I listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, like from my dad. My mum was into a lot of like dance music and like disco funk, so I got all that kind of stuff from my mum, more rocky side from my dad. So I started playing more rock and grunge. But then when I came to uni, I was more interested in making music at school rather than like playing bass, which is now what I kind of predominantly do. It was more just making the music. I just was the bass player. And then that would just like, that works for me. I started taking it more seriously. That's why I went to uni for it. And then Pink Floyd was like, realized after it influenced me, that it influenced me, if you know what I mean. Like I realized listening to my stuff, I was like, oh, okay. I kind of hear that. It's like, oh, that's definitely Roger Waters. But Céline?
So I started going to piano lessons when I was like 4. My mom's pretty musical, so she kind of introduced us to the music world, but that's not when I got into music. The second I got into music myself, I must have been around 8 or 9, and I walked into my brother's room and he was playing Unfaithful by Rihanna. And I don't know what it was about it. Like from that day, I started being obsessed. I knew all her discography. I loved her, and I started singing all the time because of her. I was exposed mainly to pop. In fact, I was not into jazz until I came to uni and met the guys. I was just Rihanna, Ariana Grande fan. Basically, throughout my life, I've always had like little hobbies. I've dipped into a lot of pools, but music is the one that's always remained, and it's just always there. I've never dipped out of it.
The next question was actually Céline, Giro and Anea. You guys are from different countries around Europe. So what was it that drew you to the UK music scene?
So When I was 17, my stepdad had a job offer in England, very good offer. And so my parents said, yeah, we're going to take that. And you're 17 and you're coming with us. I didn't want to go at that point. Obviously, 17-year-old, I had my friends. I didn't want to leave. They said it'd be good for you and you're not going to be here on your own. You're 17, this and that. Bit of a struggle, but in the end, very happy that it happened. I didn't actually choose to come to the UK or the music industry in the UK. But I'm very happy I am here now. But I wouldn't go back now. So,
We're happy you came.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
For me, it was more of a choice, but it wasn't a conscious choice of choosing the London music scene. I just wanted to move to a new country, and England seemed like the easiest option. And then I got lucky. It was maybe the biggest scene in Europe.
It just so happened to be the perfect place.
I mean, yeah, got lucky.
Yeah, well, so I came here for the music scene. I went to an international school. Pretty much 80% of students don't end up studying in Italy. So going to that school all my life, I already knew that I was not going to stay in Italy. The idea came with it all. So I had been prepared for years. Also, my brother lives in London and he works as a sound engineer. So he knows the music scene very well. I had him to back me up, kind of talk to me about the London scene. He really reassured me that this was the right place to be.
So did you learn music at the school that you went to in Italy? Was that like a subject?
Well, no, we did music, but I wouldn't say I learned music from there at all. I nurtured it through extracurricular activities. So I did piano lessons all my life. The last 3 years that I lived in Italy, I did vocal lessons. In my free time, I had a band, basically a function band, and I was the youngest, and the next youngest person was like 55. Which was great fun. yeah. We were called Céline and the Old Kids.
Oh no!
Really?
Yeah, Céline and the Old Kids.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Neither did I.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
and pretty much that's the situation there.
That's hilarious. Céline and the Old Kids.
Isn't it?
There's definitely been amongst us some interesting band names from our past.
Oh no.
we were young, man. It's not for me. My one of my college bands was called the Yarn Bands. So it was never like a serious thing, but yeah, I don't know. And then I know Dro has a pretty good one. I don't know if you want to.
When I was in college, my band was called Jero's Crows, and it started
Oh,
out. Game of
yeah.
Thrones was really big then.
It's like
was really
Céline
big
and the
then.
Queens.
Yeah, Céline and
Yeah,
the
yeah, exactly.
Potentially.
Delete that from history.
I feel like you guys have landed on a good name. Maybe don't stray from that now.
Yeah.
No. We're sticking with this.
So the next question, as a band, what is your songwriting process, in terms of inspiration right through to production?
Personally, when I am about to write a song, I have a real definite reference, song or artist in my brain that really guides me through it all. And I am always listening to songs and I'm like, I want a song like that. That has that effect on me. We've written songs with the band in different ways. The most go-to way is we have chords, we write a melody over it, and then lyrics. We work on it all together. We do the band arrangement. Papaya was the one that we wrote. It was very improvisation-led, and it was way more organic. And it came to be pretty fast because it basically all started when we were all together in the band. So we basically wrote the foundation of it all together. It came to be really quickly. So that was a very nice way to change things up. We were kind of looking into shifting musical directions, and we're gonna start working on it really soon, and we're very excited about this. And I for sure can say that the songwriting approach we're gonna have to take is probably gonna make our sound different. Developed.
I think it's going to be a good process for us all to go through. We're all going to have to improve in areas that we've not necessarily had to do before. And I think that can create some very nice results.
Yeah.
It might go terribly, but let's not talk about that.
I feel like for me personally, it's more like we've had our first run, let's say. We've released our first 4 now, 5 soon. Like, let's say we've cooked our first batch with this recipe, right?
Our first group of twins.
Yeah,
No.
our
Quintuplets.
first musical cookies have come out the oven, and they're all right. They're nice. I like them. But now let's try these other cookies that are maybe a bit harder, or maybe a little bit more specific on
They've got a bit more zest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So now let's try and bake a different type of cookie.
Yeah.
You see?
So do you reckon the songs that you're going to be doing in the future then, is there going to be a noticeably different sound to your listeners? Is that something that we need to listen to?
I think it's still very early on, we haven't ironed out all the creases yet. I think it's going to very much be trying to still have that essence of this is Céline and the Blue, because I feel like we do have quite a specific sound. I guess trying to see what other ways we can put that sound across.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to do like a huge genre change or anything, you know. It's
Yeah.
more of like smaller details or
sound palette choice.
Just sort of sound choice rather than
we're gonna finesse our brand identity.
finesse the brand.
We've been painting with very basic colors, and now we're gonna start mixing them up.
We've leveled up.
Yes. We're covering those shades, you know.
But one thing that we haven't mentioned is that we've also changed a little bit the usual people approach that we use when songwriting, because before it was 90% of the time me and Céline writing a song, and now we're trying to mix and match me and Jay and Céline together.
Yeah, what we want to do is, with like the new direction we're taking, is involve every single person in the band equally, because we always find that when that's the case, the outcome is always the best. So we really want to aim and do that in the next kind of songs that we make. Sprinkle in all of our essences equally.
Disgusting. Yeah, exactly.
Disgusting. Oh my god.
We're just trying to get as much juice as possible from this, you know, from this thing.
We're trying to be as efficient as we can in terms of creativity and trying to not leave out potential.
Then in which case, I'm guessing that usually it's been sort of, you know, you, Céline, Anaya, and Jero writing the song. So Elliot and Miles, how do you guys feel about having more of like a pitch in? Is that more pressure on you guys, or are you looking forward to that kind of creativity?
I am looking forward to it. I'm not necessarily the best at the songwriting
yet
in certain aspects. Yeah, 100%, not yet. I'm a bassist, you know. We play one night. But I don't know. Sometimes I have inspiration that pops up, so you know, it's gonna be exciting to see what the others inspire in me. You know,
when I write on my own, I don't write in the style that the band plays in. I don't necessarily write in a style that I would usually listen to. For me, that comes down to more of an inexperienced thing. You know, these guys have been writing a lot longer than I have. It's just, you know, it's a learning curve. But I do feel like even when it comes just to writing drum parts, when I'm with these guys, it just brings out a different side, which might not necessarily be there when I'm writing on my own. So I'm looking forward to it, definitely.
Like if I was to sit down and try and write a Céline the Blue track on my own, it would be dreadful. But
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, no, not even that, mate. Not as good as that. Come on.
Okay.
Don't give me that credit. I feel like when you're playing with other people, you pick up essences of what they're playing, and it's so much easier to integrate it. That's
literally right. You guys crafted me and like the music person I am. I'm not kidding. Like I sing and musically think the way I do because of you.
Awesome. So yeah, your new song Papaya just came out, which is brilliant, by the way.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So just in terms of the production of that, because obviously it was released, you know, just at the end of this past lockdown. So I'm guessing that you were working on it throughout lockdown. So how was that process in comparison to the other songs that you released?
This is a funny story.
Oh no, on this one, I was the hold up. We started recording Papaya
March.
Yeah, right before lockdown, I think we got most of the parts done actually. Or we did. Normally we do 3 days in the studio where we record everything, and we had done 2 of the 3.
Wow.
And we postponed a third one.
Why did we postpone it?
Because I decided to be an idiot in the kitchen and cut my finger. So I couldn't play guitar for a long time because it was a hefty cut. I think it was close to 2 months that I couldn't actually play, which was very upsetting because music for me is like that itch I need to scratch, and I couldn't really do it in the same way without being able to play guitar. I could play like piano and stuff, but it was painful. And next to that, obviously there is me knowing that I'm holding back this process that we're all involved in together.
We had booked the studio for the end of April to carry things on, but then lockdown obviously happened. So we lived lockdown with with 2 unfinished songs, which was annoying. We were able to finish it end of July. We went back to the studio, and that's how we wrapped things up.
Yeah, it was a pain. We owe a big thank you to the guys at the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
The turnaround that they got the song back to us in time, because we'd always planned to release it when we did, you know, in September. So we needed it to be quick because we'd only just managed to get in. Lockdown had only just lifted, so it was a bit hit and miss whether we were actually going to go. And then they managed to turn it around for us really quick. It was probably the most difficult release to plan that we've had so far, because we didn't know what was going on. Like, didn't know when we were going to be able to finish it, when we were going to get the finished track and the master and everything. So, yeah.
And obviously you couldn't see each other in person either.
Yeah.
During...
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What happened?
All right.
You guys exchanged.
So we're going to move on to something a little bit more kind of political for you guys, moving on to the future as a band. What are your thoughts, feelings, concerns, excitements about a post-Brexit music industry? Because you gig, I'm guessing that at some point it would be great if you guys did a tour. So what's the situation with that?
I don't really know too much about what it's actually going to mean. So I think that we're going to need visas if we want to play shows in European countries, right? It's going to work. Which is going to be a pain, like a bit of a pain to try and get.
But we're going to do it because we are committed to this. And
well, yeah,
whatever it takes.
Do it,
I quit.
At some point, we're absolutely going to put it together,
No, of course we're going to pull through. It's just so hard to say what it's going to look like when we're going to start gigging again. It's just no one can really give you an answer. Even though there's already been like socially distanced festivals and stuff like that, the cases are now rising again, so they won't be there for very long, I think. I mean, that's just like me guessing again. I don't know.
Yeah, I have to think about how I'm going to live here in the UK because I haven't been here for 5 years, so I can't do the settlement. I've done my pre-settlement, but yeah, we're obviously not very happy about it. I'm not very happy about it.
No one is.
At all.
The whole Brexit thing kind of just got like pushed to the side with coronavirus, right? So it's like, not only did we have Brexit, but now there's coronavirus, and it's just like the entire live music industry is just nothing anymore. So I do like the fact that quite a lot of people are doing like live online concerts and stuff, like live streams, concerts and things. That's quite a cool direction to go in, actually. I don't think that's a bad idea to keep that running post coronavirus, because it's just another way for people to get their music out. It's just like another option. And I think if you can get like a decent sound from like a live streamed set, then that's awesome.
And you've got internet radios which go across, just linking back to touring and stuff. Internet radios you can access from anywhere in the world. So it's not just, the analog radios where you have to tune in anymore.
Yeah.
You can get more of that reach by doing things like radio shows, podcasts.
A venue called Zadell in Piccadilly in London. A couple of nights ago, they sold 600 tickets from all over the world, and I think that's crazy. Like 600 tickets, that's insane.
I can imagine that there's going to be places that will actually sell more tickets because people don't have to be there.
Literally.
Like we just have to learn how to adapt to what's going on, and I think it will happen, but there's definitely going to be like a bit more of a race between artists at like, I guess, our level and like above and whatever. Like when everything starts to kick off again, it's going to be a bit chaotic, I think.
That's really sad, actually, because obviously I've been to a few of your gigs actually before, and the band dynamic that you guys have is amazing. So would you say that you guys work best when you gig together? And if so, like, what are your best memories when you've been gigging?
I cry every time I think about memories of the band. I love you guys. Like, I could literally band with you till I die. I think live is for sure the most magical feeling that I cannot recreate in any other area of my life. And it's just this really wholesome feeling.
I think one of the things, like with this band I found in particular, is that we come across maybe a bit better live than we do recorded. We just have like a different energy when we're playing live than we do in our sort of recorded stuff. So live for me has always been a big part of this band, for sure. And it is kind of heartbreaking. Like we haven't even been able to practice. So it has been tough. I think we work really well under pressure because sometimes we kind of push ourselves and play a song that we haven't necessarily have had written for too long or haven't practiced that much, but we always seem to pull it together on the night. I think it's like somehow the nerves just an extra boost of just focus, really. What I like is that I feel comfortable with you guys enough that if I'm not necessarily that comfortable with a song yet, I still feel confident that I'm going to be able to play it to the best of my ability, right? I feel like we can rely on each other quite well when we're playing live, so that if something does happen, it doesn't really matter because everyone has someone to fall back on to a degree if you need to.
We're each other's safety blankets.
Yeah.
There's 5 of us, so It's a lot of
Little
margin of
blankets.
A
safety.
lot of support.
A lot of support, yeah.
What Elliot was saying about live, it's to me very evident, especially because live we play at the same time. When we record, we actually do one at a time. And I feel like that's where the magic kind of gets dissipated.
That's so true.
Yeah.
When we're gigging, I never look at you in the faces apart from little instances, but I literally feel the energetic waves from you from the back. Like, it's crazy. It's so weird. Like, I feel the presence and I feel the communication, and it's just this little circuit of energy that I think people grasp onto. I feel it even not looking at you guys. So
I feel like musicians definitely feel it, but I feel like if it's strong enough, then that is like what people feel too. Like everyone is in that zone, you know?
that little bubble.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like we get like that.
How cute.
Very.
I definitely feel very lucky to be in a band of you guys, not in a weird soppy way, but like I feel like you can spend a long time working with bands or artists or whatever and not have that same connection, right? Like it doesn't always happen where you're in a band with people that you connect with on a way that then you're all improving kind of at the same time when you're playing together, and you're all constantly bringing out the best in each other when you're playing. So it's nice to have that. I don't think that happens too much. So I do consider myself very lucky, actually.
Yeah, me too.
So you guys have kind of been teasing that you've got another song. Céline, you said you had 2 unfinished songs during lockdown. You all said that you've got nearly 5 songs out, but as far as I'm aware, there's only 4.
Well.
Honestly, we have more than another one ready.
Yeah, that's plenty coming.
There's loads.
There's some ideas. Just
I feel like we have songs coming out of all the places.
Yeah.
Is there a rough release date for the next song so that they can keep an eye or an ear out?
Let's say November.
Oh, so quite soon then. Okay, awesome. Then the final question would be, and this may be a little bit of a weird one, but why should these readers listen to you? Out of all the bands out there, why Céline in the Blue?
Go on, Céline.
Yes.
It's really hard to explain. Our music is one part about us. As Céline in the Blue, we're not just musicians, we're friends. We share this relationship, which I consider super, super special. And I don't think that I'll ever have this sort of relationship with anyone else. And I think that we are sharing that relationship with other people and it's not just through music, it's through YouTube vlogs, through the podcast, is a very huge insight on us. We are a music family. Our approach to everything is family oriented. So if you want to join the music family, you should listen to us.
Absolutely.
Okay,
What a great
I'll
way
give
to
him
put
a
it. Fully agree.
I was gonna say minor 9 chords, but
No one else uses them. We invented those chords. There was only minor 7, and that's where it stopped.
Okay, amazing. So that's kind of the interview thing wrapped up, but I really, really appreciate it, honestly. Like, thank
Of
you.
course, we appreciate it. Thank you
we-
so much. Thanks for thinking about
It's
us.
amazing. Yeah.
Right, well, I'll let you guys go then, because I've literally kept you for like an hour, but thank you again so much.
Ah.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.